Hi everybody, welcome back to Nitty Knotty Hand-Dyed Yarns Beginner's Crochet Series. So in this video we're going to go over the half double crochet. In previous videos we went through your foundation chain, slip stitches, and single crochet stitches. So the next is the half double. So I've made my foundation chain. Now if you remember in our previous tutorials with the slip stitch, we went into that very first chain on our foundation chain, and with the single crochet we went into the second chain on our foundation. With the half double we'll go into the third. Again, I like to use that back post as opposed to the V, just so that it just looks nicer in the finished product. So first you figure out where your third crochet stitch is going to go, okay, in your third chain. Now with the slip stitch and the single we just went directly into the stitch, but with a half double first we need to yarn over once. So yarn over once, then put your hook through that back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 stitches on our hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into the next foundation chain in the back, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 on your hook, yarn over, go through all 3 on the hook. We'll do that one more time and then I'll go quickly across. Yarn over into the next bump, pull up a loop, 1, 2, 3, yarn over and through all 3. Okay, so let's get to the end of this row and then I'll show you how to turn with a half double crochet. Always count your stitches to make sure you've made it to the end of the row properly. So that is one row of half double crochet, and now we have our V on the bottom to work into if we want to put a border on this project, and we have our V's on the top to work into on the next row over. So now when we slip stitched we did not chain any, we just turned. When we did the single stitch we had to chain 1 and then turn, and with a half double we chain 2 and turn. There's my 2, and again I'm turning my project this way because if we turn it this way my yarn has to cross over the project. Okay, so we're going to turn it this way so the yarn is not crossing over the project. And then we're not going to crochet into that first stitch because our chain counts as the first stitch. We will yarn over and go into the second stitch, pick up a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Yarn over, go through that V, yarn over, all 3 loops, and then make sure you're going through both bars of the V. Now I know on the first one we were going through that bump on the back, but from here on out it's always going to be going through both of the bars of the V unless your pattern calls for otherwise. Some patterns, as they get more complicated, will want you to go through just the front loop or just the back loop, or some such combination. So the The pattern will specify that if it needs to be anything different, but if it doesn't specify anything, then it means to go through both. If you don't, it will look different. I mean, it's still going to work, but it'll look different. So you won't get the look that you're going for. Okay? And once you get to the end of your row, you always want to count your stitches and make sure you have the right amount, because sometimes, you know, especially with the ends where you have chained up, they're not as stiff as your other stitches, so they might turn in and you might think you're short a stitch. Or on the end here, sometimes you're not sure if that's the last stitch or if there should be one more. So always count your stitches. And if you have a large project, that's when your stitch markers can come in handy. You can place one every 20 stitches or so, or 10 stitches, or 50 stitches, whatever you like to do, but that way you only have to count back the number of stitches until your last marker if you lose your place because somebody called you on the phone or somebody was talking to you. It's very easy to do, and if it's a bigger project, that can be really bothersome. So that is your half double crochet. Next video we'll do the double crochet.